The Winnipeg Jets this year have been incredible. So much fun to watch, so many amazing contributing fun elements to what's gotten this team to where they are today. But today I want to focus on, in my opinion, the most underrated and underappreciated aspect of this team, and that is its goaltending. Specifically Laurent Brossoit and Connor Hellebuyck, obviously. I think this is one of the best tandems, if not the best tandem in the NHL. Obviously, they're not an even split tandem like some teams have with their backup and their starter. They don't even really have a backup starter. It's just two goalies splitting that role. The Jets obviously, don't really handle it that way, but if they wanted to, they could. Laurent Brossoit has been absolutely incredible. After being with the Vegas Golden Knights last year, beating the Jets in round 1, and going on to become a Stanley Cup champion with that team, no NHL team really gave him an opportunity to be a starter, so he came back and signed a one-year deal with the Winnipeg Jets after finding a lot of success and actually kind of rejuvenating his career a few years ago in Winnipeg after coming from Edmonton. He decides to come back and give things another shot, playing behind the best goaltender in the NHL, Connor Hellebuyck. And Laurent Brossoit has not disappointed this year. He has been immaculate, in my opinion, in all of his starts. The guy has been nothing but incredible for a backup, done everything you could ask for. In 18 games played, he's put up 12 wins, 2 back-to-back shutouts as of late, a 199 goals against average with a save percentage of .927. His last 5 games have been incredible. Now, again, the Jets have played great in front of him, but he has been just as consistent and just as important on getting the team over the finish line in these games, and the advanced stats back it up as well. He is one of the best, most consistent backup goaltenders in the NHL this year, and I think definitely will be given a starting position potentially next year going into free agency. If the Jets can find a way to keep him around, I am absolutely all for it, but it's going to probably be a hard task for Cheveldayoff to find a way to keep Brossoit in Winnipeg unless they find a way to split games more. But when you got Connor Hellebuyck in net, I don't know if that's really going to happen, because Brossoit has been, like I said, the most underrated aspect of this team's success this year. You look at his last 12 games, he's 9-1-1, 18 goals allowed, 2 consecutive shutouts with over 150 minutes of play without a goal allowed. He's just been playing incredible hockey as of late, and Connor Hellebuyck's had a little bit of a slide lately, and you go and look at, like I said, Brossoit really got his career going again in Winnipeg after leaving Edmonton, playing 3 years here, then going to Vegas, and then coming back to Winnipeg. So he's always just played his best hockey in Winnipeg, and I think this year, without a doubt, is his best hockey of his career, and I think that he definitely will get a chance next year to be a number 1, potentially a 1A, 1B, like Mike is saying here. I do not think the Jets find a way to keep him, and that's why I wanted to talk about him, because he's been so incredibly important on this run this year to helping the Jets find consistency. You look at last year with David Riddick in net, and it was terrible. Like, he was just, it was not what you wanted in that option. Connor Hellebuyck was overworked, and you definitely saw it. The Jets have had this past tendency to go out there and find goaltenders that are mediocre and overwork them. They've never really provided stable backup goaltending until LB. So bringing him back this year really has helped Connor Hellebuyck find success, and also helped Laurent Brossoit find success. He has just played his best hockey this year, and when the Jets have had moments down the stretch where they have had inconsistencies with the offense, where the defense hasn't been as polished as you would like it, Brossoit and Hellebuyck have been, the wall back there, keeping them in games and getting them dubs, and that's exactly what you need out of your goaltenders. If you're going to run a tandem where you're going to trust your backup to play in important games, and you're not going to overwork your starter like we've seen the Jets do in the past, especially in the Paul Maurice era, then you're definitely, getting your money's worth from your backup, and that's exactly what Brossoit brings to this team. Is he provides consistency, he provides that reliable backup position. He can give Hellebuyck nights off, but he can also come in and he can play good hockey and arguably be a starter. Like right now, if you were the Jets, with the way that you had Brossoit playing in these last 2 games, I would say, hell, start him in this game going into Columbus. Why not? I obviously don't think they are, but at the end of the day, why not ride the hot goaltender? The fact that you have the ability to ride and switch out hot goaltenders like the Jets have had this year is a very underrated element to finding success in the playoffs and just in the regular season. You got one goalie starting to play a little bit, slower, not making those consistent saves that you've seen him make in the past. Boom, put the backup in that's on a hot run right now. And the Jets find themselves in an ability to do that if they need to. They can rotate out the hot player. They've got all these options back there. Hellebuyck is probably the best goaltender analytically and just stat-wise in the last decade in the NHL, and then you add in Laurent Brossoit, who has had some of the best backup numbers as of late plate coming off of a very successful year last year with the Vegas Golden Knights that saw him winning the Stanley Cup. You have a recipe for success back there, and that's exactly what Cheveldayoff has done, this past offseason, and going out there and bringing Brossoit in. He's helped provide Hellebuyck with some stability back there, and providing him with a night off potentially where he doesn't have to actually worry, and Brossoit has just fit in really well. Connor Hellebuyck's probably going to win the Vezina this year. Let's knock on wood there a little bit, but I think that he will. And a big reason for that is not only the play in front of him on the ice, but having a great backup goaltender in there that can give Hellebuyck the nights off and provide this consistent play we've seen all year long. Like, Hellebuyck's worst stretch this year has come in the last couple of games, and even then, he's still been pretty good. Like, this is one of the best goaltenders ever. He's approaching those top of the tier stats. Like, he's gotten everything checked off, already a multiple Vezina winner. He's climbing the list for most shutouts in playoffs and regular season in the NHL for an American goaltender. Like, this guy is probably going to be a Hall of Famer to boot at the end of his career, and it's just incredible when you have a goaltender like that can play amazing for you, and then you have a backup in Brossoit, who's a cup winner as well, who is playing his best hockey of his career in the year where your team is playing the best hockey that they've arguably played ever in franchise history. It's just a recipe for success, and it's exactly what the Jets find themselves in, and it's just exciting to witness, because Hellebuyck's always been that guy. We've never questioned Hellebuyck, in my opinion. I know there's parts of this fan base that rip him at times and blame him for bad losses. I don't get you, because he's the exact same guy that's kept us in over a dozen games every year that we shouldn't be in. But when you have a guy like Hellebuyck that can win you games, that steal you games, and then you can give him a night off and have a hot goaltender in Brossoit come in, that's all you need, really, to find success in that backup crease. And at the end of the day, that's the type of important stuff that you need to win games, And right now, the Jets are finding themselves in a weird spot, Since the All-Star break and since the start of the 2024 year, the Jets have had a bit of a difficult time beating playoff opponents. They haven't had their best stretch of hockey, post in 2024 against playoff teams. And I don't think that's a goaltending issue. I don't think that that's a Hellebuyck-Brossoit issue. I think that comes down to the play, the fact that the Jets have been battling one of the worst, if not the worst, flu that Rick Bowness has ever seen a team have in his entire coaching career, which says a lot when you look at how long he's been in the NHL for. And the Jets still find a way to be near the top of the Central Division despite all of that stuff, And I know some people are worried about that. I'm not. If this team has been, you can see the flu games, you can see the symptoms, you can see certain guys having bad nights off, you can easily see it. And I think that the fact that you have still good goaltending and good important play down that stretch says a lot to the values that this team has and to the way that it was built. And that's very important going down the stretch run, in my opinion. Like, Cheveldayoff has done a fantastic job. When you look at the trade market that he's done, bringing in Nemestikov last year, bringing in Niederreiter last year at the deadline, you look at the offseason, trading Dubois, bringing in Velarde, bringing in Iafallo, bringing in Kupari, then you look over at the deadline this year, you bring in Sean Monahan, you bring in Tyler Toffoli and Colin Miller, but people forget about one of the most underrated signings that happened last year, the real only signing that happened in free agency that actually made a big impact, like always for the Jets, is going out there and getting that backup goaltender. And what Cheveldayoff was able to do with bringing back Laurent Brossoit, in my opinion, was one of the most underrated key moves that went into the offseason and to getting the Jets to where they are. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Laurent Brossoit is the reason why the Jets are having success this year. He's a key element, just like Velarde, just like Iafallo, just like Monahan, just like Nemestikov, just like every other player that they brought in the last calendar year. But kind of the glue move, in my opinion, that's provided the stability to have these guys flourish and also to help Connor Hellebuyck flourish to the success that he has been Laurent Brossoit. And I think that I really think that Rick Bowness, at the end of the day, I think if he wanted to, he could easily use more and get more out of Brossoit. I think you could do more of an even split. Now, obviously, I want to see Connor Hellebuyck play these games because it's Connor Hellebuyck we're talking about. But at the end of the day, this is a guy that has been really good this year, proven good this year, a playoff winner last year, a Stanley Cup winner, to mind you, a guy that went all the way. And I think that it's a very exciting thing to find the Jets have back there, And like I said, you look at where they were last year at the backup goaltending position to look to where they are this year, and that's a huge upgrade, like a massive, massive upgrade. To have a guy that will probably be a starter next year for a team being your backup this year, I think that speaks volumes to what they wanted to achieve in the offseason. They've all found success this year. They're all playing the best hockey of their careers, arguably, and it's all coming together in such a nice piece. And the goaltending this year has been the one area more than any other area where I can just chill out. Like, I watch the games, and I'm never worried about the goaltending, regardless of who's in net. If it's LB, I'm ready for a fun game. If it's Connor Hellebuck, I can't wait to see what magicry he pulls out of a hat. Like, the guys this year in the crease are fantastic. The Jets find themselves so lucky, and I, for one, couldn't be happier. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below about this goaltending tandem. Do you want Laurent Brossoit back? What do you think it'll take? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, peace and positivity as always. Go Jets, go! And I will see you guys in the next one.